Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're not going to do any painting or assembly or anything like that, but I am going to show you a neat little trick. Some of you may already know, but some of you may not. We're going to take something and turn it into a metallic finish without using any paint whatsoever. And we're going to do that with graphite powder. Yep, the secret's out. So we're going to turn something like this into this. But hey, first hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any videos like this in the future. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So this is the Create a Color graphite powder that I ordered off of Amazon here. There is an affiliate link below for 150 grams of this. And this is what we're going to use today. So before you get started, a couple things you're going to need is something to like put this on, because you're going to need to catch the graphite powder when it comes off the excess. Make sure you wear gloves like I'm doing right here, and I got an old brush, and you're going to need some cotton balls here to actually apply this and buff this stuff. So this is the brush I'm going to use, and the test subject for today is Colossus here. So first thing first, what you need to do is paint whatever you're going to use a gloss black. So this actually helps the color to come out in a metallic form. So I've got 3 of these heads here. 2 of them are rejects, and 1 of them is the head that I plan on using on my model, which is the different expression, which is kind of the teeth showing here. This is the one that I'm going to use. So I'm going to test it out on this one, and I got another one just like it before I apply it to my good model, because I want to make sure this works properly, and I want to get a good metallic finish. So here we go. So first things first, I'm going to try this head with the applying this graphite powder with this brush here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply it onto there. Oh wow, and can you see that already, guys? It's already coming to a metallic finish here. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to apply this all over the model itself. And again, make sure you got you're working in a clean environment, because this stuff, I can tell already, is starting to go everywhere. All right, so this is what it looks like when it's all applied. It's already got a sheen to it, so that's pretty cool. You might want to wear a respirator, because again, this stuff kind of goes all over the place. It will get all over your fingers, all over your gloves and everything. So again, make sure you're wearing, you're working in a good, clean environment. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a couple of cotton balls and we're going to buff this and see if we can make it even shinier. All right, so I got a little cotton ball here, and what we're going to do is we're going to buff this with a cotton ball. Oh wow. Oh wow, guys, this is pretty cool. So yeah, this is really coming out shiny. Hot damn, it works. So if you see the difference between this side, which is non-buffed, and this side, which is buffed, there's a big difference right here. So let's move on to the next head. We're gonna do a trifecta here. We're gonna try it on 3 different heads and see what kind of appearance we get. Now here's the thing that I want you guys to know, that I do not know what it's like when you touch this, if it will dull the finish. But we're going to check it out afterwards. Like, I'm touching it with my glove right now, and it's not creating any type of smudges or anything like that. But what we'll do after we're done with the next one, we'll try it with just your normal fingers and see if it leaves any fingerprints or anything like that. My assumption is that it will, but we'll find out. All right, so this is head number 2. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, and I'm going to do the whole entire head, the top hair and everything, because I want to see if you're able to paint over this, because Colossus's hair is black, and so I want to see if you can just paint over this. So here we go again. We're going to use the, I'm going to put this under. So we're going to use this to try and to go ahead and coat the entire head. All right, so here's the second head. It's completely coated. And what I want to do is we're going to try this again. The other thing that I want to do with this head here is I want to apply a second coat after we buff it and see if it can become even shinier. So let's go ahead and get to buffing here. I'm using a new cotton ball and let's go. All right, and this is the full entire head, completely done, top, bottom. Again, it's got all those little layer lines in it, so it is a secondary head. I think it turned out pretty good. Now here's what I want to do next. I want to see if it's necessary to add a second coat. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that and see if it just becomes even shinier, if it dulls it out, or what, or it's even necessary. So one thing I'm seeing here is I got a good stiff brush here and I'm working it in. I'm not just applying it very lightly. I'm actually working this stuff in pretty good and it seems to do a lot better. So try that and you should get a good application on it. Now one thing I am seeing on the second coat is not really a big difference than the first one. I mean, you work that one in pretty good. It doesn't seem like it's biting pretty, I mean, it's really slippery, but it doesn't seem like it's really biting all that good. So maybe a secondary coat is not necessary. All right, so the second coat is all on it. And let's get to buffing here and seeing if this does any bit of difference. Now I imagine the more you buff, the more this would come out shiny, but I'm just doing minimal on this right now because again, these are test heads and it's looking pretty shiny to me. All right, and here it is after about good 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, just buffing the hell out of this thing. It is pretty shiny. I'm really digging this. I'm gonna move on to the permanent head. It doesn't have any layer lines on it and it's already glossed with a black gloss on it. And so I imagine I'm gonna get a pretty good finish on that one. But on this one here, we're gonna test this one here in a little bit. And we're going to see if you can actually paint over this, if the paint will stick to it, or what kind of finish we get. All right, so this is one of the heads that I am actually going to use for my Colossus. You've seen the Juggernaut and Colossus diorama, but I am trying to find an alternative besides the Alclad Chrome and the Molotov Chrome that usually takes forever to dry. And I really dig this effect so far because the one thing that I'm seeing is it gives a good mirror chrome effect. However, in the recesses, I guess because of the gloss black, it just makes those recesses really pop. So again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and coat this one here. And I'm not going to do the hair up here because I want to see firsthand if this other, if you can actually paint on it with this other head. We're going to try that one out here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and let's coat the final head here. All right, so this is the final head right here. And one thing I can say is this stuff right here, if you have any blemishes in your piece, and you don't catch it, it will definitely make those come out. So I did have some layer lines over here. Didn't realize it. So I'm probably gonna have to reprint this piece over and redo it. But I do like the result. You can use this with, like I said, with like weapons, with armor, or any type of stuff that you can, you need some type of shiny metallic, finish on it. And this stuff is cheap, so I mean, this is a good alternative. I know you guys have probably heard of the rub and buff. Well, this is probably a similar thing, but the only difference is this stuff is like magic. I mean, it really makes this, you get a really good solid metallic finish. So now let's take this other head here, the secondary head, and we're gonna go and see if we can apply paint over the part that we actually apply the graphite powder to. Okay, so before I put my other glove on, I actually wanted to see if you could touch this without putting any smudges or anything like that in it. And I've been touching it, and I have not been putting any smudges on it. It's very slick. I imagine with a larger piece you probably can, and I'm probably, you know, I'm not just noticing it here. This is something that I used to use graphite powder in drawing and different art medias and stuff like that years ago. Whenever I used to use charcoal, whenever I used to do charcoal painting and stuff like that. But this is the first time in using it with an actual 3D print. I imagine you can do this on FDM as well, because I have seen some cosplayers use this on some helmets and stuff, and it turned out just really nice. But this is the first time I ever used it on a statue. Again, I imagine that no matter what you use it on, you could probably put smudges on it. So just be careful when using it. I'm gonna put the other glove on, and we're actually gonna see if we can go ahead and paint this here now. All right, so I am just using just a basic flat Vallejo black, and I thinned it down a little bit, and I'm just gonna try and hand paint it on here first. And usually if it hand paints, if it sticks okay, then airbrushing it should be fine too. So let's just see here what kind of result we get. It looks like it's going on okay. It's not bubbling up or anything. When you thin it out though, it does look like, of course you'll have to apply multiple coats. So, and this stuff dries really quickly on this. So, yeah, so let's just go ahead and finish painting the head. And again, I'm just doing a sloppy job on this. I'm just trying to get the paint on there. Not really, you know, worrying about how it's gonna look or anything like that, again, because it is a test head. So let's go ahead and paint this up and see how it's gonna look in the end. All right, so the paint's all dry and it's stuck. Looks like I could put another coat or two on it. And if you want to seal it, I'm assuming that you would probably need to hand seal it with a brush. But that's something else I want to find out. I want to find out, will it dull the finish on it if I use like a gloss coat over this? So we got one more head that we can do something with. And so that's what I'm going to try next. I'm going to try sealing it with a gloss coat and see what happens. One other thing that I want to point out too is if you have like a tight space, like the eyes right here, a Q-tip does great for going in and buffing this area, you know, running it over and everything like that and getting some shine out. But you can see it actually, well, I use the other end here, but it actually helps shine up some of that area. If you have a tight fitting spot, go in and just use the Q-tip here. All right, so this is what I'm going to seal it with. I'm going to use this Color Max Clear. It's a gloss, but what I'm going to do is it's just a rattle can, so I'm just going to spray it on there and see what happens. I can't really do this while on camera, so this is what the head basically looks like beforehand. This is not the one I'm going to spray, but we got a comparison here with as far as the sheen and everything. So we're going to compare this one with the one that we actually do a clear coat on. Okay, so here is the one that I clear coated. It definitely darkens the finish on it. It doesn't dull it necessarily, but I could tell as soon as I sprayed it on there, it darkens it out. It's almost like a gunmetal gray finish or some type of a pewter type finish. You could tell with the one that has not been sealed, there's a big difference in the sheen on it. But that's still a pretty cool effect. There's actually a black graphite powder that you can get that will actually sharpen a black finish, make it into a shiny black finish as well. I don't see it being necessary to clear coat this since the finish doesn't come off. A couple of the cosplayers that I've seen use this on helmets don't finish it or don't clear coat it, and they just don't have a single problem. So apparently on statues, we really don't need that either. So yeah, so this was a pretty good success. I think this is something you can definitely have in your arsenal if you don't feel like painting, or if you just want to take like a whole statue and do this. I think it would look pretty cool, maybe to have it up on your desk at work, or you know, if you just want to have that type of statue in your collection. Okay, everyone, I hope you got something out of that. That is one more thing that you can add to your arsenal of, well, I wouldn't consider it painting, would you? But hopefully it is something that you can use in your future models. And if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe. Also, we do have a Patreon where you get absolutely nothing. Well, wait a second. Aha, you are getting something. You're getting access to a private Discord. And I also just recently made an announcement on there. So if you want to be a Patreon member, then go over there and check it out. The link is below in the description. We got a lot of new people this week. So who are those people? Joe Oline. Or is that Jolene? Jolene, Jolene, Jolene. Ryan. Mr. Cogsworth. Jamie Williams, Richard Pezal. I think that's right. BB2142. Carlos Poladera. I think that's right. I just probably butchered that one. Joseph Pimentel. Another one I butchered. Yvonne Lamer. Or is that Ivan? Wyven? And Vincent Warrington. Thank you guys so much for the extra support and becoming a new member of the Patreon. Again, if you'd like to be a member, link is below in the description. We got some really cool stuff happening over there, and some upcoming surprises that some of the members can probably tell you about. Hey, and don't forget, I do have some affiliate links below in the description for the graphite powder, for brushes, all kinds of other stuff, for supplies that I use in my video at no extra cost to you. It does give a little kickback to the channel in order to help me continue to do this sort of thing. But if you don't want to become a member of the Patreon, just watch the next video. Share it with your friends. Just keep watching the videos. Just watch them. And as always, everybody, stay safe out there. Get out and create something. Print, prep, paint, repeat. And until the next video, we'll see you. Man, I wonder if I can find one of them STLs for that spy balloon.